not much. How about you? I'm not sure why I called. I guess I really just wanted to talk to you. And I was thinking maybe later on we could get together for a while. It's been such a long time and I really do miss your smile. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. We could go walking through Windy Park, take a drive along the beach, or stay at home and watch TV. You see, it really doesn't matter much to me. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I won't ask for promises, so you don't have to lie. We both played that game before. Say I love you, then say goodbye. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight.
Woo, look at that. Okay, so welcome to John Lee Rants About Stuff. Yeah, that should. Yeah, this is much better. This is much better. Okay, today in John Lee Rants About Stuff, we're gonna be talking about hookup culture. Now you may ask, what is hookup culture? And to you, my friend, if you don't know what hookup culture is, well, I'm gonna explain it to you today. Hookup culture, it's the idea that like you can just like hook up with a girl, have a bunch of one-night stands with a bunch of different women, be some sex crazy addict just sleeping with woman to woman to woman to woman, or if you're a girl, you think you can just sleep man to man to man to man to man to man, back to back to back to back. That's really all it is, because it's like hookup culture is so idiotic. It disgraces the idea of love between a man and a woman. And then you have the homosexual relationships, which just throw out the even idea of a relationship between a man and a woman, which is just such a huge disgrace. And then it just makes hookup culture even more of a poison, and more of a poison. Hookup culture plagues the modern world. I don't know of a country in the Western world that like doesn't struggle with hookup culture. Like, there's no Western country that struggles with hookup culture. There's like one place that I've heard of that's like in Bosnia and Herzegovina that doesn't have hookup culture and doesn't have divorce and stuff. Because hookup culture, it just is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sleep around in high school, and then now it's like, okay, I'm gonna sleep around in middle school, or sleep around to some extent even elementary school, which is just so disgusting. And then, you know, after high school, it's like, okay, I'm gonna sleep around and be a slut, and then like maybe marry when I'm 34 if my career isn't more important, which is just so idiotic. It is so idiotic. It's just so idiotic that people would want to sleep around with multiple women or sleep around with multiple men if you're a woman, and then those people have slept around with a bunch of other people. Like, okay, let's say you have like an 1,000 foot by 1,000 foot apartment, okay, and there's a girl who slept with 2 dudes, who slept with, like, both of them have slept with 3 women, and then those women have slept with multiple women, and those women have slept with multiple men. If you got all of those people into that apartment, like, so on and so forth, all these people have been sleeping around with each other, it'd be just so disgusting and awkward. I mean, that's really what modern parties can be like. Like, it just like some crowded block party is what the inside of that apartment would look like if you had all these people who have slept around with each other in there. It'd be very cramped, it'd be very uncomfortable, and it's just so sad. Like, don't get me wrong, dancing, partying, fun, whatever. Hookup culture, no. Let's not do hookup culture. Let's not cave to hookup culture. It is moronic and idiotic. You know, not to be vulgar, but like, if a girl slept with multiple dudes, just think of like all the dudes who have slept with her. And like, if a guy has been with multiple women, like if you're a girl and a guy has been with multiple women before you, just think of like all the like guys that like, I mean all the girls that guy has been with. It's just such a travesty that we have come to a society where sex is normalized. The thing about sex and love is that you are getting naked completely. You are giving yourself up entirely to the other person. You are giving yourself up entirely to the other person by sleeping with them and having sex with them. I mean, it boggles my mind that like there are people who actually want to sleep around with like multiple people. It's like, you know, I mean, I can sort of understand where they're coming from because it's like excitement or whatever. Like, you know, in middle school, I mean, thank God I'm still a virgin, that's for sure. But it's like, you know, in middle school, it'd be like, oh, you know, I want to be with this girl, oh, I want to be with that girl, and oh, I want to be with this girl, or oh, I want to be with that girl. And thank God I never ended up with any of those girls. And at this point, for me especially, I just want to find a girl, and then in high school, because I'm still in high school, and then marry her right out of high school, have a family and stuff. I don't want to deal with hookup culture. I don't want to be dating multiple women and then get married by the time I'm 34 or out of college or whatever. I don't want to deal with that. That is just so sad and depressing in my opinion. It is so sad and depressing that people like don't want to give up and settle at a younger age. They want to just like have sex all the time until they're 34 or whatever, and you know, then get married. It's just, I mean, it's just so sad to me that there are people who want that lifestyle of hookup culture, of being with multiple people. And you know, I haven't even touched the part about like marriage. It's like, you know, marriage, you are saying, okay, I will be with you no matter what, and like the other person saying, okay, I'll be with you no matter what, you know. girl to guy or whatever, you know. It's a girl giving herself up entirely to a guy who wants to be with her entirely and stuff. Because if you want the vocation of marriage, which is just so beautiful, you are wanting to give yourself up to a woman who is willing to give herself up entirely to you. It is a two-way street. I am giving myself up entirely to you, so that you are giving yourself up entirely to me. That's what's just so beautiful about it. And then, you know, making love, it's like you're giving yourself up entirely to each other to create a new life and stuff. I mean, I can talk about abortion in another video. I think in the 𝓟𝓵𝓪𝓭 show I talked about abortion, but like the important thing to remember about like when I did the 𝓟𝓵𝓪𝓭 show, that was is kind of a comedy stuff, and it was a huge exaggeration. Like, even though some of the stuff, like, yeah, I do believe, or like there are obvious stuff that like I don't believe and stuff that I did in the 𝓟𝓵𝓪𝓭 show, but it was like a huge comedy and exaggeration. But with this, it's like, I mean, I did start out like John Lee Rants about stuff kind of like as like, okay, kind of like a joke, but like now it's like I want to really discuss the topics and stuff that are really matter to like our modern society as like a reflection of it. That, as I was saying, with sex, it's meant for procreating and creating a new life. That is what is so sad about contraceptives and condoms. And like, you know, one time I got condoms as a joke, but that was obviously as a joke and stuff. But like, the idea of separating, like stopping a new life from happening is just so sad. Like, you know, whatever, I'm a guy, my opinion doesn't matter. Jesus, sun's bright. You know, I'm gonna close the drape. There we go. We're going back to 2013 lighting. There we go. That's better lighting. Alright, so as I was saying, contraceptives is just stopping life from happening in the first place. And then abortion, which is just propagated by hookup culture, it's just like, oh, I don't want this baby because I don't want to be responsible for my actions. When you sin, you are responsible for doing that sin, and that is why you go to confession to get that sin absolved, because you want to be a better person so you can become closer to God. But by like wanting to get rid of a child because you had sex or whatever, and then there's also the cases of like rape. It's like, yeah, sucks that you're raped, hope the guy goes to hell and stuff and like gets in prison. But if you are pregnant, even though like it's unfortunate what happened to you, it's important that like you don't like kill that life, because that life is so sacred. Life is very sacred. You can't just end a life without justification. Self-defense, fine. The only people who really should have their lives ended are the people who propagate, you know, hookup culture through abortion and disrespect to the sacrament of marriage, and just cause such huge disgraces to society and like normalize degeneracy. You normalize degeneracy, you don't have a functioning society. You truly do not have a functioning society if you normalize degeneracy.